Hello everyone, how you doing? So today I need to ask you a question. You know League of Legends, right? Having its humble origins in 2009, becoming one of the most successful multiplayer games of all time, giant tournaments, giant trophy, kick-ass music at their tournaments. But did you know that there are actually playable champions in the game that are inspired by real-life mythology gods? Wanna find out more? Alright, here are 5 League of Legends champions inspired by deities. Number 5, Nasus.
The cycle of life and death continues. We will live, they will die.
We begin with the curator of the sands, Nasus. Not only does the famous Q-stacking top laner have very Egyptian aesthetics to him, it is also fairly obvious that his whole appearance is based off of the god of rituals upon death, the lying shackle of the sands, and Anubis. You can also guess this by his abilities and descriptions having to do mostly with either sand, death or decay, which were 3 attributes not at all far away from the Egyptian deity of death. Number 4, Renekton.
As I live, all will die.
Now, this one is a little less obvious if you don't know that much about Egyptian mythology, but like his brother Nasus, Renekton seems also definitely inspired by it. This time it's not a deity of death, but instead the one of the crocodiles of the Nile, as Renekton's whole appearance is a clear nod to the Egyptian deity Sobek, who is said to roam the Nile and command the crocodiles therein. And while not as important or famous as Anubis, it is very clear that Renekton is this god's counterpart. Number 3, Wukong.
I will be the best.
Now, you knew this was coming, I knew this was coming, everyone probably knew this was coming, as the Trickster Monkey does not only share appearance, weapon and abilities with a certain Trickster Monkey of Chinese mythology, but they even share the same name. To say that Riot took inspiration from the Chinese Monkey King Sun Wukong would be an understatement, as Wukong is basically a carbon copy of the staff-wielding warrior ape that we all know and love from within Chinese mythology. He appeared famously in the Chinese story The Journey to the West, which is quite known even outside of China, and if not, don't worry, Sun Wukong is very far up on the list of videos that are bound to be uploaded quite soon on this channel. Number 2, Yasuo.
Death is like the wind, always by my side.
So this may come as a surprise to some, but not to others, but everyone's favorite wind samurai was seemingly also heavily influenced by mythology. This time, how could it be else by Japanese mythology, as Yasuo shares many traits with the famous deity of wind and storms called Susanoo. Now, at first I wasn't really sure if they shared enough similarities to be put on the list, but after I read a little about the storm god and played an excessive amount of League of Legends, I can conclude that Yasuo seems at least inspired by Susanoo, as they were both exiled, both having a wild storm-like temper, both of them having a brother who is more calm, in Yasuo's case Yone, and in Susanoo's case his brother Tsukuyomi, and of course they both not only share aesthetic things, but seem to be able to control storm and wind with the swing of their blades. I think that's enough to be able to say that Riot Games definitely took some inspiration from Japanese mythology on this one. Number 1, Teemo, Satan. Nah, I'm kidding, but seriously Teemo, f*** off. Number 1, Azir.
Shurima, your emperor has returned.
Of course, even this champion of Shurima is inspired by Egyptian mythology, and Riot Games didn't even dig that deep, because Azir is clearly inspired by, probably besides his father Ra, the most famous of the Egyptian gods, the god king Horus. Not only does the design kind of gives it away, but also the description and lore of the character, where it is clearly stated that Azir is called the Emperor of the Sands, who wishes to restore the Shuriman Empire to its former glory. So anyway, those were 5 League of Legends champions which seem to be inspired by a deity of some sort. If you know another champion that is inspired by one, or seems to be, or if you want to suggest another topic for a video, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. I would also be happy if you leave a like. That's it for today, may the gods be with you, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.